I've been watching you for years before I started.
No
So.
way, really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, cool. What
Yeah.
what got you into the red pill space? Like what was your first viral video?
Yeah, okay. It was actually really funny story. I had never really consumed any red pill content. I never really watched or read any books or anything. I knew about it, but I mainly just studied like psychology and consciousness and
Okay.
had a lot of, personal experience in dating. And after COVID, I say this so much, people are so sick of hearing it. After COVID ruined my life. It like ruined my everything I had going for me, particularly hard. I was just sitting around with nothing to do, going nowhere for a little while. And I just made a cranky video on TikTok and it got 4 million views. So I made a career out of it.
No
It was
way.
it was a total fluke. I was just like, I happen to have all the skills to make this into a successful career. So it was just this 25-year-old girl saying, "Men with no hose, where are you?" And so I just made her a little chart and showed her where the men with no hose were. And I said, the men, with hose are up here paying attention to you and all the other hoes. And the men without hose are down here sending you messages on Bumble and not receiving a response. And it blew up and I, yeah, made a whole thing out of it.
Wait, so what was how did COVID destroy your life? Did you lose your job? And like
I lost kind of everything. I don't want to get into like too much detail. I keep myself secret. I don't want to get into too much detail about exactly what I was doing, but yeah, I lost my income. I lost my extracurriculars. I lost my social circle. All of that stress plus the George Floyd stuff made my neighborhood a lot more dangerous. Like I was in a really good neighborhood and it suddenly became really bad, like in one night. So a lot of stressful things happened all at once, and I kind of just couldn't handle it, and it spiraled. And I did not start spiraling back up for 3 years after. So
wow. I don't know
yeah,
anybody that had the George Floyd stuff like directly affect because I remember when that happened, like I could hear the protests and stuff, but like
yeah.
it wasn't so was it like there was rioting in your neighborhood and stuff?
Well, yeah, there was a little bit of opportunistic crime. Like I had never seen a crime on my street before, but on that night, all of a sudden, cars were pulling up and trying to break into apartments. And there was this guy who there was a bunch of people trying to break into one of those We Buy Gold shops,
Mhm.
and this guy upstairs didn't know they were trying to do that, and he thought they were trying to go into his apartment. So after the cops came and scared them off, he went outside shirtless with a kitchen knife and just stood there for 15 minutes panting, like he was terrified. And I saw that from across the street. So I knew they weren't trying to break into his home, but he had that experience. Like he thought that 15 people were trying to break into his home. So it
Wow.
got unstable. And then after that night, all of a sudden all the windows were smashed and my car wasn't safe and everything like that. It was like it just was overnight.
Wow. Were you able
So
to move? Like or how long did you have to endure that?
I tried to put my life back together for like almost 2 years after that.
Hmm.
I made some changes and everything, but I was in an area where they had lockdowns for really long time and repeating and everything. So they let us out, and then I started planning my life again, and then they just locked us back down. And it was like, oh, again.
Yeah.
So it was basically 2 years of no social life, very little dating. There was like one girl I met on Hinge, and she only wanted to come over once because she was afraid of getting COVID and killing her parents. So it was 2 years of nothing.
Well, I
So
was curious because I saw a reply to one of my tweets that you had like a girlfriend or something that told you
at some
not to
point,
do, no, well, not to do the YouTube stuff. That like said it was a waste of your time. Was that true? Am I misremembering this reply?
you
Okay.
might be misremembering a detail of it because
Hmm.
I had a girlfriend last year, but she didn't tell me not to do the YouTube stuff.
Hmm. Okay.
There was somebody earlier in my life who told me not to do like anything that would have brought me here. I did have a bad girlfriend at one point who,
Hmm.
whenever I tried to develop my skills, she was like, "This isn't going anywhere. It's not doing anything for me at this exact moment. So you need to stop." Maybe that was what I
Oh,
was
yeah.
referencing.
Okay. Well, like, so how did you come to your observations? It was all through like personal experience and just like
Yeah,
observing society. Go ahead.
yeah. Just a lucky combination of personal experience and my particular choice of studies. I have a major in communications, and I studied this thing called integral theory. I don't know if you've seen my levels videos,
Hmm.
but I'm really into consciousness. I'm really into understanding how the mind works, and I've read 48 Laws of Power, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read Scott Adams' Win Bigly is one of my favorite books. And the more that I read all that stuff, I just started applying it to real life and, figuring out how the principles work in real time. And that's just the skill set that I make the videos with. I just had to, I was lucky enough to get a lot of experience along with the reading I was doing in my spare time.
And how has your life changed since you started content creation? And you do it full time now, I assume?
Your
channel's
this
huge.
is all I do.
I'm like, there's no way you don't. Yeah, God.
No. Yeah, no, I haven't had a day off in 7 months. I basically don't leave the house except to get groceries.
But
My
you
life
love
has
it,
changed.
right? You love it.
Yeah, what's
right?
that?
You love it, right? You seem like
It's my favorite job I've ever had.
Yeah.
As far as a job, I would love to be able to go take a hike or something, but there's no time quite yet. But yeah, how my life has changed is I have money for the first time ever. I was making like a very pathetic amount of money per year on average from college until then. And now I might actually make up for it. Like things are going pretty well. That is a big difference. I'm doing something that I actually feel good about. Like, how you've had jobs that you do just because you have to, and it's, you don't have any sense of like, is this doing anything for anyone? Is it good for the world? Most of my jobs were like that. This one is not like that. I've gotten to do life coaching. I get a lot of people who, I always wanted to do life coaching before home math became lucky for me. And I got the opportunity to prove that I can actually like bring people to breakthroughs within an hour, like in an hour session. Every once in a while, it would only take 40 minutes of the hour to get people to understand something new about themselves and start making new decisions. And it was like lots of opportunities to apply my skills. So that's the main two things. I can actually do something that is productive and worthwhile and tons of money.
What are the most common realizations that people have? Because at 40 minutes, that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the most common realizations that people have is a good question. They're all very individual. So there was one guy who couldn't figure out why he felt justified cheating on everything, like handing in stuff at his job and lying to his friends. And I helped him figure out what was the core of that. We did that like right, I think 5 minutes before the hour was up. He had that click moment. There was someone who had a lot of bad dating experience, was a young woman, and she wanted to know the way that she phrased it was she wanted to know how to go forward after having all that bad experience. And I just sort of like reframed her to the way that you're going to feel about dating is going to be built of your past experiences, and you don't have good past experiences. They're still in the future. So you have to go make different choices, get different experiences and make those your past, and then you'll remember it differently. And just reframing that for her shifted the whole thing. There was a guy who his girlfriend got a really desirable job, and he reacted to that by saying, I knew this job was going to take you away from me. And I told him what he should have said was, I'm glad that, like, I'm so happy that you brought this job into our life. So it's not like he's going to change the reality of her being less available, but that would definitely change the emotional content of the relationship to not be like, oh, your job is stealing you from me, which was probably part of the reason that the relationship was experiencing trouble. So it's usually stuff like that. There was one guy who had his marriage ruined by an old friend, and he said that he thought he was a really good judge of character and couldn't believe that he missed it. And so we went through who she was and everything, and I showed him the exact thing that he missed. He was like, "Oh, that's like a resolution." What he missed was that she was very beautiful and talked about wanting to have a family, but was always single.
Oh.
She was she was really well behaved, didn't swear, no tattoos or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But just the fact that she said she wanted a family and could easily get one and didn't have one, it was like, what's the reason?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Lots of stuff like that.
Have you ever taken like art lessons? Because your stuff is so well drawn. It's like done very well.
Thank you. It's not, but thank you. It's
It's better
it's
than I
it's
could do. Better than most YouTubers can.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never taken like formal art lessons unless you count high school. I took art in high school for sure,
Okay.
but it's something I mostly just do in my spare time. I've always when I've had, long periods of time without a job or something, sometimes I'll pass a day by drawing apples or something.